The atmosphere was electric as Naoya the monster Inoue stepped into the ring once again, this time to face Ramon Cardenas, a determined and confident challenger ready to test himself against one of the most feared punchers in boxing. Inoue, known for his speed, surgical precision, and devastating power, carried an aura of inevitability with every step he took. Across the ring, Cardenas stood calm but alert, fully aware of the mountain in front of him, yet resolved to rise to the occasion. From the opening bell, Inoue asserted himself with his trademark sharpness, moving with a coiled energy that kept fans on edge. Cardenas tried to establish his rhythm, flicking the jab to create space and time, but it became clear almost immediately that Inoue was reading him like an open book. The monster began dissecting his opponent with clean, crisp combinations, closing the distance effortlessly and throwing punches with a level of confidence that could only come from a man used to dominating. Cardenas showed heart, standing his ground and firing back when possible, trying to break through Inoue's high guard with looping rights and straight lefts. But the difference in speed and timing was evident. Inoue slipped shots with minimal movement, responding with laser-like counters that landed with punishing accuracy. Each punch seemed to take a little more wind out of Cardenas's sails. Midway through the first round, Inoue started digging to the body with those brutal left hooks that have dropped champions before. He doubled up, alternating between rib shots and lightning-fast uppercuts. Cardenas gritted his teeth and tried to tie up, but Inoue's footwork made it impossible to pin him down. The Japanese star pivoted, stepped around, and continued his systematic breakdown. Cardenas, to his credit, didn't shy away. He attempted to circle out, jabbing high and low to throw off Inoue's rhythm. But Inoue was in complete control, stalking his opponent with the calm patience of a predator. As round 2 began, the crowd roared, sensing that the end might come sooner than expected. Inoue came out even more aggressive in the second, pressing forward behind a piston jab that snapped Cardenas's head back several times. He followed it up with a straight right that split the guard and sent Cardenas stumbling into the ropes. The referee looked on carefully, watching for signs of serious damage. Inoue didn't rush. He took his time, threw feints, and forced Cardenas to react. Each movement set up a new opening, and Inoue capitalized with ruthless efficiency. A sweeping left hook landed flush on Cardenas's chin, followed by a blistering 3-punch combination that drove him backward. The challenger tried to fire back wings wide, hoping to catch lightning, but Inoue's defense was airtight. He slipped and countered, firing a short right hook that landed with a thud, sending sweat flying from Cardenas's head. The third round began with Cardenas showing admirable grit. He knew he was behind and tried to press the action, stepping forward and letting his hands go in short bursts. For a moment it looked like he might find a rhythm. He clipped Inoue with a left hand that caught some attention from the crowd. But Inoue, unshaken, nodded his head almost as if to say, "Good shot," then fired back with a punishing right that knocked Cardenas off balance again. It was now apparent that Inoue was not just faster but smarter in the ring. Every exchange saw him land the final and most significant shot. The combinations became more fluid, more vicious. A left hook to the liver made Cardenas double over slightly, and Inoue followed with a short uppercut that knocked his head back violently. It was a masterclass in pressure and control. By the fourth round, Cardenas looked weathered. His movements slowed and his guard dropped ever so slightly, just enough for Inoue to notice. And that was all he needed. Inoue began targeting that gap with chilling precision, landing lead right hands followed by crushing left hooks. The Japanese sensation was in full command, and it was only a matter of time. Then came the moment that shook the arena. Midway through the fifth round, Inoue feinted with a jab and stepped to the side, setting up his signature shot. He unleashed a thunderous right hand straight down the pipe that connected cleanly with Cardenas's chin. The challenger's legs buckled as he dropped hard to the canvas. The crowd exploded. It was a shot delivered with the speed of a whip and the power of a hammer. Cardenas tried to get up, but the impact was too severe. His body refused to cooperate. The referee counted, but it was academic. The fight was over. A knockout, devastating and conclusive in vintage Inoue style. Another opponent had fallen under the might of the monster. Inoue stood in the center of the ring, fists raised not with arrogance but with the quiet pride of a warrior who had once again executed his craft to perfection. Across the ring, Cardenas sat on the stool, being checked by the medical team, shaken but conscious, showing the spirit of a fighter who gave everything he had against impossible odds. This performance reinforced what fans already knew. Naoya Inoue is not just a puncher. He is a tactician, a ring general, and one of the most complete fighters in the sport today. His ability to dismantle top-level opponents with precision and grace makes him a rare breed. The boxing world watched in awe once again as he added another chapter to his growing legacy. Cardenas, for all his courage and resolve, simply ran into a force too powerful to be denied. He showed heart, stood his ground, and gave fans a glimpse of his bravery, but against a fighter like Inoue, heart alone isn't enough. The gulf in talent, experience, and speed was just too wide. As the replays rolled on screen, fans relived every second of Inoue's dominant performance. The way he closed distance, the flawless footwork, the angles he created, and the explosive power in both hands. His movements were calculated and calm, almost too fast for the eye to catch in real time, but devastating in slow motion. The knockout shot especially was replayed again and again, each time drawing gasps from the crowd. It was the kind of punch you train your whole life to throw, and very few ever land it like that, with timing, speed, and sheer destructiveness. Inoue's corner embraced him, smiles all around, but no wild celebration. They expected this. They prepared for it. For them, it was business as usual. Another win, another statement, another reminder to the boxing world that they are witnessing greatness in motion. The commentators could barely contain their admiration, comparing Inoue to legends of the past, highlighting the rare blend of skill and savagery he brings into the ring. Pound-for-pound rankings flashed on screen, and no one could argue that. Inoue sits firmly among the elite, perhaps even at the very top. As he stepped out of the ring, cameras followed Inoue backstage, where he thanked his team, bowed respectfully to the crowd, and gave a nod to his opponent, acknowledging the courage it took just to share the ring with him. A true champion in every sense, honorable, humble, and absolutely lethal. This fight will go down as yet another stunning showcase of Inoue's brilliance. For Cardenas, it will serve as both a humbling defeat and a badge of honor, because not many can say they stood across from the monster and gave it their all. But for Inoue, it was another night, another victim, another perfect storm of skill and fury. With each fight, Inoue continues to cement his place among the sport's all-time greats. And after a knockout like this, the boxing world can only wonder who, if anyone, can stand in his way.